All right, what's going on, guys? You already know what it is. Real quick. We're not 194. Can't believe back here again with another. Almost said trivia. Another talk show for WWE. We discussing Hell in a Cell, everything Hell in a Cell. We'll jump into tomorrow's pay per view a little bit, but we're gonna talk about everything Hell in a Cell from favorite matches, favorite moments, the best Hell in a Cell match in our opinion, what we think is still to this day. Maybe even the worst Hell in a Cell match too. We can go through that too. So, there's some bad ones. There's been some terrible ones. So we'll hop into it. Are they, first of all, is the Hell in a Cell? I don't even know. Is it like red now? Not like
they changed the color of it that year with Roman and Braun. And I think
last year.
Yeah, they're trying to keep it red now. I don't know. It's weird.
Is it red for like the hell? Like hell's red.
I think so. I think they're for like the PG stuff. Like kids see it, they're like, "Oh, it's red." Blah. I think it makes it harder to see though for camera work, and it's just not.
Yeah, I didn't like it last year. It was like red. Hell in a Cell. What is this? I don't like red. Go back to like the original clear Hell in a Cell, like the silver. I mean, but I doubt it'll probably be red from now on. That's why I'm thinking kind of red for like the word hell. And it's like it's hell and hell. You know what I mean?
I think it'll change if the product matures a little bit more, though.
It could waver, definitely, but as always, let you introduce yourself a little bit.
Conrad Cushman, Everything Pro Wrestling. Let's talk some wrestling. I don't gotta say too much. They know who I am.
No, they don't. Let's hop into Hell in a Cell. We'll touch on tomorrow. And let's hop right into tomorrow a little bit. Let's just touch on it because there's only 4 matches, so as they've only announced. So let's just hop.
Did they announce another one?
Yeah, Bailey versus Charlotte. They announced it on like their Twitter or something like that. I don't even remember. So we got Bailey, Charlotte, Sasha Bailey, Hell in a Cell, the tag team match with Roman, Daniel Bryan, and Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and then Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins. So we'll just jump into the 2 Hell in a Cell matches. We don't have to talk about the other 2, but talk about Bailey versus Sasha first. This might actually be the kickoff match. Actually, I'm thinking like the match start off the show. So. What are your expectations for this one? What do you think this one's going to be like?
All right, so Becky Lynch had that interaction. I guess SmackDown's going to bleed into this a little bit. Becky had that great interaction with The Rock, and I say it was great for the fact that Becky got to be in the ring with The Rock and kind of hold her own on the microphone and do everything else. But here's my exception to all that. She had a great moment. Rock came in, ha, 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 all that usual stuff. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, people's elbow, rock bottom, everybody goes home happy. Becky Lynch doesn't have anyone else to face going forward, in my opinion. There's only one other person who she could face, and she's not around right now. Ronda Rousey. One-on-one, that's the match I would like to see. But if Ronda's not coming back, I say you take the belt off of Becky. There's nothing for her to do.
If she loses to Sasha, they gotta have a rematch. It's Survivor Series, maybe. Like they gotta have another match. You would think.
I mean, I don't think you need a rematch though. Technically, rematches are antiquated, right? Like they're gone.
Right. If she lost the belt, you would think it's the Becky character. Like, well, I want a rematch. I mean, like I want to fight you again and stuff like that.
But the draft should affect this too. I think you split them up onto different shows. I feel like Sasha's going to wind up on Raw and Becky will be on SmackDown.
So you would have Sasha go over and win the Raw Women's title, and then have Becky go to SmackDown, and then Sasha go back up to Raw.
Yeah, I think you just switch it up, man. You let Sasha win. Sasha needs the belt more for her character. I feel like Sasha's been like on this like plateau since NXT, so she won. People started to like her. She comes up to the main roster. She's a heel, and her character has never really changed at all. I think she needs something that's going to make her different or stand out this time, and she hasn't found it yet. You know, like you're a heel, but I'm not feeling anything different than what you were doing before.
So do you think the match overall, we think this match is going to be like?
I think it's going to be a good match. I think that they're going to try to make it as brutal as it can be with what they can do.
Does it go outside the cell? Did they go outside the cell?
I can see it. I can see possibly like a leg drop from Becky off of like not the top, but like, you know, midway up.
What if he did jump? What if somebody did jump off the top though? Like one of the females jumped off the top.
Hell no. Someone's dying if that happens.
Hey, Shane did it though.
Yeah, but Shane's crazy. I don't think any of the girls are that crazy.
If they did it though, that would be a legendary moment forever remembered.
Yeah.
Off the top of the cage. I'd be down for that. So I'm with you. I'm picking Sasha to win. I I think she will win. Nothing really, like I said, nothing really much for Becky to do anymore at this point. She's done beating everybody else, so Ronda would be the only one. If she decides when she decides to come back, we don't know yet. But would have Sasha win, and then probably split them up would be good. If you don't have them do a rematch, I'd say split them up, put them on different shows. That way you can move on to a different storyline with both of them.
Yeah.
What about the main event? Seth versus Bray, me versus the Architect.
There's only one right way to do this, bro. You have to strike while the iron's hot. We complain about WWE not doing the right thing. Like I felt last year SummerSlam, not the one in 2019, but in 2018, that's when it should have been Seth versus Brock. Now in 2019, they give Seth the belt. Everyone's just kind of like meh, and they're over it already. The Fiend is the hottest thing out right now. He's the pre-order bonus for the video game. It's Halloween time. Let the Fiend win. You could create a new star here. I think that's what you do.
If he wins, then what? Where do you go from there?
He's got to go on a run. He's got to be on a rampage. He cannot lose to anybody until you pick who's going to be the guy. He's got to be Brock. That's why I have an issue with Brock beating Kofi as fast. We talked about this off air, by the way. Brock beating Kofi that fast. You have to let the Fiend be the guy who can't be beaten now.
So you think who would it make sense for Bray to lose to? I mean,
I think you're just gonna have to see who's got the hot hand. I think now with the draft, I feel like it's time for people to prove themselves, and you have to see who's gonna stand out. Maybe it's Seth again. Maybe Seth does a redemption storyline. Maybe it's someone who's in NXT right now and they just haven't had the opportunity to be called up. I'm trying to think of who else could be in that main event picture. Maybe it's the big dog, Roman Reigns. You could always lean on him for something, but you got to give Bray a serious run, at least till WrestleMania, I feel.
Most likely it'll probably be Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's too much for me, man. Unless you're going to unify the belts.
He breaks everything up, though. Shriek, destroyed John Cena, beat Goldberg again. I mean, he breaks everything up. I honestly don't know who. There's nobody besides Brock. I'm not saying that I want Lesnar to do it, but like besides Brock, there's nobody else that I can see being to go in there and beat him. Like you're gonna beat Bray. I mean,
what about
maybe Roman too? Because Roman, he's been one of the top guys, but I don't see anybody else. Like I can't think of anybody else.
They've been putting Seth over hard, though. And I saw online like rumors of a disqualification finish. Like you said, what's going to be the finish to the Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins and The Fiend? And they had pinfall, submission, and DQ. And I was like, DQ?
The Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, but remember they did that with Roman and Braun that year.
That's the dumbest shit they ever done. It's a Hell in a Cell match, bro. Like only way Bray can lose, I'd be fine with is some type of interference, like Strowman or something. I don't care. If he loses, can't be by pinfall. It just can't be. I can't. I don't want to see him get his shoulders pinned to the mat. Braun comes out, whatever. That's fine because honestly, I wouldn't. I agree when you got to strike with the iron top, but if he doesn't win the title, I wouldn't be too mad as long as it's done right. You know what I'm saying? Like have him. I already told you how I want him to be booked. Have him go on a rampage. Like have him beat everybody he should have beat, and then have him go after the title. And now Brock Lesnar's the WWE champion. That would be perfect. Like I said, imagine if he inserted himself into the Rumble. Like he wasn't even number 30. Like he just put himself in the match, destroyed everybody, then all of a sudden it just started targeting Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania. Would be, I don't know, bro. I feel like that would be money right there. I think fans can get behind that because fans would really, like I said, that would be a match that's unpredictable because fans would want Bray to win so bad. At the end of the day, you kind of think, you would think Brock Lesnar's going to win because he's Brock Lesnar. It's like, Brock's right. I can't win because he always wins, but you would just want Bray to win so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it, man. I just fear Bray Wyatt has to be booked strong. Like with these characters.
I mean, you don't think it'd be strong for him to beat Lesnar at WrestleMania for the title?
It would, but I'm talking about. It sounds like you want to start like that, but let's look at the last time Bray Wyatt came in with his cool character. Bray comes in, he beats Kane, things are looking good. WrestleMania 30 happens. And we all know what happened there that night. Bray Wyatt ate a F5, or I'm sorry, not an F5, an AA, FU, whatever it was called at that time. GG, the man lost to John Cena. He went on to beat him because of some stupid thing with the kid, and he never won any matches ever again. Like, he just lost and lost and lost. You can't do that. And I feel like if you start losing, you'll fall right down in that path. And Vince McMahon sees these guys as toys. Like, ooh, look at this shiny new toy. Oh, I'm done with you. I don't need you anymore.
I think Bray doesn't win. You have him go against Strowman because he already attacked Strowman on the segment on Raw. So that would only make sense. And go out there. And look, I know fans would bitch and complain about it because fans are so impatient nowadays. You know what I mean? They feel like, him against Strowman, they would just, they're going to ruin him type shit. Whatever. I'm looking at it from a real perspective, from a wrestling fan, from booking. Have him fight Strowman because Strowman, like I said, Strowman already attacked. He already got attacked by Braun Strowman. Strowman come out, interfere, whatever, do their thing. I don't care. Have him fight Strowman, Survivor Series, whatever you want to do, Survivor Series, whatever. Have him fight, or you can even fight the Undertaker. He attacked Kane, so it makes sense. Have Undertaker pop up in Hell in a Cell and the story from that. So have Undertaker and Bray at Survivor Series, whatever. That would be cool too. That money right
there. A live match too. You could do some things with this.
Yeah, casket match maybe, a casket match. You can do some cool stuff with that. So have him fight Strowman and I would have him go after Randy Orton too. There was a story behind that. At WrestleMania when he burned down the house and everything like that. Have him go after Randy Orton. Have him go after who else did he? Roman Reigns. He didn't get to beat Roman Reigns. Have him go after Roman Reigns. If John Cena comes back, definitely have him beat John Cena because John Cena got nothing to lose at this point, so he put him over. He got nothing to lose now. He's in Hollywood. Have him beat. I would have him squash Goldberg. I think it would be huge. Have him squash Goldberg like Goldberg used to squash people in matches all the time. When Goldberg come out there in a spear, jackhammer, have him do that to Goldberg, the guy who's known squashing people. You know what I mean? Have him do that to Goldberg. Goldberg's not going to lose at this point either. I mean, he's going to they pay him a lot of money to do it. So, all right, I'll do it. Whatever. Have him go after Seth Rollins, or he's the one at Seth Rollins right now, but eventually make his way back around to that. And then at WrestleMania, I would top it off WrestleMania by having him beat Lesnar. I would have him, like I said, I would have him insert himself into the Rumble because it's never been done. I wouldn't have him come out at 30 because when he doesn't come out, I wouldn't even have him a match on the card. Like I wouldn't even announce him on the match on the card. Would have number 30 come out, and then people would already lose their minds because Bray Wyatt didn't show up. So this is kind of like how Danny Bryan was in 2014 when Danny Bryan didn't come out. And they're like, bro, where's Danny Bryan? Like, why is he not in the match? You know what I'm saying? He didn't come out and lost their minds. And all of a sudden get down to the final 6, and the lights are going out and shit. I mean, he pops up in the ring. He just destroys everybody and throws everybody out. And then he's going to WrestleMania. You know what I mean? So it's like his character is believable enough where authority is really not going to stop him from doing what he wants to do. You know what I mean? Because he can't be stopped. He's gonna do what he wants. It's split personality for the Fiend, so he can get on the Firefly Funhouse and talk about Fiend does what he wants to do. I can't control what he wants to do. Just say some dumb shit. You know what I mean? That gets people happy and excited, and then have him target Lesnar would be a smart thing to do, in my opinion. That's just how I look at it. I think it would be money, and it's a match that you can't. No matter what people say, you can't predict it. It's a match you can't predict. It's a match where you want one thing to happen, but you don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yeah. The Fiend character just has to be treated special at this time, and I really hope they don't screw it up because you could easily book yourself into bad spots, which WWE has been known to do.
Right. And you got to think too, Brock Lesnar's part-time, so how long can he be the champion for Fox? You know what I mean? You got to have somebody to fill that spot in that's going to draw numbers too. And Bray Wyatt, he's drawing good numbers right now, so he's there every week. You can have him start off on Raw, and then if he wins the Rumble, have him go to trip over to SmackDown, and then Lesnar leaves and does his thing, and then.
Do you feel like the belts need to be unified for a lot of them? I feel like there's a lot going on, and there's way too many titles. Send that cruiserweight belt to NXT.
For what I heard, the cruiserweights are in NXT, though, aren't they? From what I heard,
they canceled 205 Live this week.
Yeah, I think the cruiserweight title is in NXT now, so that's I wouldn't mind seeing just one world champion. They had to be on both shows, you know what I mean? They had to be on both shows, but that could. My thing is,
you need 2 women's champions at this point. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, my thing. Well, I only think it could work if you had a buying brand pay-per-view. If they have when they do the brand split, if Raw and SmackDown have 2 different pay-per-views, then you have to have their own champions. You know what I mean? Raw has to have their own champion, SmackDown has to have their own champion. If they're not going to split the pay-per-views up, then I wouldn't mind seeing one champion.
So do you like that model better of the split pay-per-views? Because to me, there's 2 eras of it. When I was in high school and they were doing the original brand split, I did not like seeing Rhino versus Rico on a pay-per-view. I was like, what is this trash? But in 2016, when they did it, I thought it was better.
Yeah. I like the split pay-per-view. I like it better. I liked it better from 04 to 05 around that time because I thought the split pay-per-views were good because to me is when I really started getting into wrestling, and that's when I was kind of trying to figure out what show I liked more, because that's when you had like Cena coming up and Batista and Randy and all these guys coming up trying to fight for the top spot. I remember like I think it was like I think it was like No Way Out 2005, something like that. Like they had like the tournament, see who's gonna face JB at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? And like the finals was Kurt Angle and John Cena at WrestleMania in the match, and then they had the barbed wire steel cage match with JB on Big Show. You know what I mean? And then Batista was supposed to be on the show too because he won the Rumble, so they were trying to figure out if he's gonna go to SmackDown or Raw. You know what I mean? So I like the split pay-per-views. You can have it opens up better storylines. I think for storylines for other superstars that won't get opportunities that they deserve, like Aleister Black or Andrade or the Revival or LP or whoever. Have split pay per views. Have them do better stuff. And you got to think too, like if they did a split pay per views, you could have like the OC be like a dominant faction on the brand. I mean, like you can have them feud with people that makes sense, or you can it just makes the opportunities better for everybody else. You can have split pay per views. You don't need GMs either. You don't have to have GMs, whatever.
That was my other thing too. Heyman and Bischoff, you don't feel they need to be in those roles at all?
No, if you're not gonna have a GM on TV, honestly, you could just have like Vince be the authority figure. Like you could just have him pop up on TV here and there. Like when things get out of hand in wrestling, you could just have Vince come out and just like do certain shit.
Or let Triple H have that role and just have him appear more often. Whoever, you could have anyone who's in the back just make a match.
Yeah, you could disappear. Like I'm saying, you could just have an authority figure come out here and there. Like Stephanie come out and be like, hey, like, it's getting out of hand, like, this is what we're going to do type shit. You know what I mean? You don't have to have somebody there every week at the GM. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, to me, the last great GM to me was Eric Bischoff. Like, ever since then, I feel like there's always been, like, Vicky Guerrero was a good one, too. Vicky Guerrero was a good GM, too. But I feel like Eric Bischoff was always involved in stories. You know what I mean? He was always involved in some type of storyline. He wrestled here and there and took crazy bumps. You know what I'm saying? He was a good heel, but he got his ass beat when he needed to get his ass beat. He screwed people over when it made sense, and it was, that's when you really hated him. Like, oh, he's screwing this guy over, like, you know what I mean? But Eric Bischoff to me was the last great GM for TV.
I like Teddy, but I don't know. I think people just get mad because Teddy never really wrestled in the ring, but I don't think Teddy needed to. I think he was involved enough, and he kind of tried to be fair. The only, people have the criticism of he always made tag matches and the matches with the Undertaker, but
you're gonna be teaming up with the Undertaker. It was funny. He always used to do that. Undertaker, but I feel like you had to split the brands up. You had to make them two different pay-per-views. And now that think about it too, like they have different stages. So like, what is Hell in a Cell stage gonna look like tomorrow? What's the set gonna look like? You know what I mean? Are they gonna bring Pyro to Hell in a Cell? Is it gonna look different? I think you need to make that feel different. So like, you need to have the SmackDown setups from the Raw pay-per-views. You need to have it look. You need to have that different feel. You can't make it feel the exact same. You don't want it to feel the same. You have to have them compete against each other. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I never understood why they always looked at Raw as the A show, and every time SmackDown was always getting better ratings, they took the foot off the gas and pushed it back. It doesn't matter. Why does it matter what shows are doing better ratings? They're both, you own both shows. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Especially now with Fox.
More of an attraction. More of an attraction, I was going to say, to advertisers, though. Maybe they're like, ooh, that hour looks better. That makes more sense. What's up, Saul?
But you got to think, with Fox now, I heard that they're going to look at SmackDown as the A show now. So, because they're with Fox. So, I mean, I think you have them compete against, like, legit, like, when we're getting off topic about Hell in a Cell a little bit, but when they said, back in 2002, when Paul Heyman was the creative team for SmackDown and they gave him SmackDown and they were competing against each other every week, he asked for Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and I think it was Edge or something like that. Like he asked for
Angle. He asked for the SmackDown 6.
Yeah, with Cena, Angle, Mysterio, Benoit, Guerrero, and there was one more.
Who was it? It was the
Lesnar. I think Lesnar was involved in it too.
Eddie Chavo. It was the people in the tag.
Eddie Chavo, Kurt, Edge, and then Benoit and Angle.
Mysterio, Edge and Mysterio, Benoit and Kurt. Yeah.
Those guys, I had to because they were doing better numbers than Raw at that point. They had better storylines, they had better matches, they were doing better stuff. Jericho was mad that they put him on Raw because he knew SmackDown was better. So like, oh, they put me on Raw. Like I don't want to be on Raw. You know what I mean? So them actually connect. You don't have to, because you already said you don't have to have Raw and SmackDown compete with AEW. So you have NXT for on Wednesdays. That's what NXT is for. have faith in NXT. NXT is the best thing they got going right now. So have these two compete, and then have make it exciting. And make it different. I feel where it's like Raw was good this week. I wonder what SmackDown's going to do this week. I mean, like what is SmackDown going to do to top what Raw did this week? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
have that feel different. But how would you feel if Seth win though? He did in Bray, but it was some type of interference. Like he did an interference type thing.
I cannot go for it. Seth has to lose in my mind, period. If anything other than Seth, like losing the title happens, it better be something shocking, surprising, something that's going to make it worth the while. Like something I'm not even thinking of, because to me, there is no way you can do this. In all honesty, I thought they were going to add Braun Strowman to the match and give Seth.
How would you feel if Taker showed up? Like the lights went out and he popped up in the ring.
Depends on what you do and how you do it, but
I mean, obviously it would lead towards the match though. But like in that moment, you can't tell me that wouldn't be cool shit though. Like the lights go out, you hear that gong, and
like I would want to see Bray get tossed off the top of the Hell in a Cell. Then that's the only thing believable to me without him getting penned. And you can't pen him.
Yeah,
you ruin the whole gimmick and why people should be afraid of him.
Yeah, I think you have Taker comes out. I think you have him kind of just like fight out of the arena. You know what I mean? Like have just kind of like fighting like to like the back or something like that, like to the back or something like that backstage or and maybe what if they drug him under the ring, like had Taker like drag him under the ring like he used to do people. Like you could do shit, you could do some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like kind of have like Seth looking around and maybe you could do. If you want to separate the two stories, you could have Taker come out and have him fight to the back, and then have somebody else come out afterwards. Like, just challenge Seth right there. You know what I'm saying? Like Seth look confused, and have like Drew McIntyre come back and come out and attack Seth. You know what I mean? And that way, fans could be satisfied. Like, okay, Seth and Drew, I'm cool with that. Then you have Taker and Bray just for that one night, whatever. I think that'd be a cool way to do it. But Bray winning the championship, obviously, I would like. It's just my only fear is that how do you gonna book him? It's one thing to put the belt on him. How are you gonna book him as the champion? It's gotta, it's one thing for fans to say you want him to be the champion, but when he's the champion, how long is it gonna be before you get tired of him being champion? You know what I mean?
People are fickle though. Look at the Kofi situation. I just talked about it with you. Everybody wanted Kofi to win. Since Elimination Chamber, Kofi gets the belt. Great moment with Daniel Bryan, and then all of a sudden, the same people who probably complained saying they wanted Kofi to lose last night are the same people who were complaining that Brock Lesnar was the champion. Some of them I know because of Twitter. But I'm like, dude, you were complaining that you didn't want Brock as champ. Now Brock's champ again and you're happy? Like, that doesn't make sense. Oh, well, that was different at the time it happened. Sean Hubbard, shout out to him. I think he did a very good explanation on why people were disappointed with the Kofi thing. And it's no different here. Like, people are going to be fickle no matter what. I get it. People will get tired of Bray in whatever role he's given. But I think us as WWE fans have to go back to long-term storytelling. They need to teach the people to appreciate, like, wait for it. It's going to happen. Just wait.
I think.
Because don't you feel like everybody has a complaint as soon as a storyline starts? Like, look at the Rusev thing. I get that it looks bad and everything else, but let's see where this is going. Like, we didn't even.
I just feel like fans don't give things a chance anymore, dude. It's just like they see one thing and they complain about it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Dan Velasquez thing. You know what I mean? Like, fans are already complaining about it. But like, what if it turns out something being good? Like, what if they had a great match? What are fans gonna say?
What if it draws money? It could. Cain Velasquez is a very big name in UFC. I mean, you know this. You're a UFC guy.
Yeah.
I've watched some of his fights. He's a popular fighter. Some people were talking about his doughy appearance. I dare you to go say that to his face. Cain Velasquez will knock your ass out. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, he will beat you down.
And for people who don't even watch UFC, like, they have a story. Like, he actually beat Brock Lesnar in UFC. Like, he beat his ass. Sit him open, and like I remember watching the fight live. Even though he had the diverticulitis shit, like he actually beat his ass in the corner, bloody his face up. Like they have a story there, so like there's something out there to talk about. So I think fans jump to conclusions too much. You know, what I mean, they jump to stuff before it even happened. I mean, obviously, Bobby Lashley line thing, it looked stupid. I was like, okay, this is stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I already tried this with Dolph Ziggler. It was terrible. But like, I was like, you know what? Let me see where it goes. Like, let's see what happens with it. You know what I mean? Let's see what maybe Rusev brings out somebody else as his girl. You know what I mean? Let's see where let's let's see where it goes to.
Maybe all of it'll make sense, but we don't know because we just saw them kiss. That's the only thing we have. I do feel like they are trying to embarrass Rusev, and I think that's where the backlash comes from. It's like, oh, you're trying to embarrass this dude now at this point.
I feel like with people in general, you have to give it a couple weeks before this. You got to let the story tell itself. You got to see what they tell. Like you can in a couple weeks, you can tell if the story's going to be good or not. I mean, so in like 3 weeks, if the line is if it's stupid, then you can be like, all right, it's stupid. Like this is not going anywhere. I'm not invested into this. There's nothing you can do to bring me into this. Whatever. I don't know. But see where it kind of fades out. See where it kind of goes. I'm saying like the Cain Velasquez thing. They said that they invited that Tyson Fury, the boxer. They invited him on Raw Monday. They said come to Raw and talk on the mic. They invited him on Raw Monday, so there's probably going to be something him and Strowman going on. Maybe WrestleMania or something like that. So they invited that dude on Raw to come talk on Raw. So I feel like I feel like fans are just different with stuff like that. It's just like I guarantee you when he comes out on Raw, he's not going to get a good reaction. I mean, like he's going to get a good reaction, but like. It's different, back when Floyd Mayweather came, that was good shit. What they did with Floyd Mayweather and Big Show, like that was like good TV stuff. But I just feel like nowadays fans don't have that same mindset back then. You know what I mean? Like fans like when Floyd Mayweather came in and Big Show, people were like, "Whoa, Floyd Mayweather and Big Show, like what's gonna happen? Like what's this gonna look like?" You know what I mean? I feel like fans would just be like, "Oh, Tyson and Braun Strowman, like come on, like why they got this celebrity in the ring?"
I feel like these guys just aren't big enough stars to go against people to make them care.
Dude, I told you. I think the one guy I think that could do really great stuff is Conor McGregor. The only guy I think that could come in. That's a huge popular star because he knows how to sell fights. He knows how to put asses in seats, and he knows how to sell his product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a little wild too, though. He's a
little wild, but I think he can make it work though because people know. Even if you don't watch UFC, you know who he is. You know about his. You know who Conor McGregor is. So it's like if they did Conor McGregor and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, you're gonna be like, whoa, like. What's gonna happen here? Kind of. And imagine the stuff that him and Heyman could do on the mic. You know what I mean? Conor McGregor can say crazy off the wall shit. What if Vince has told him, hey, look, stick within the lines. Like I'm gonna let you go out there and do your thing, but he's dropping f-bombs and saying crazy shit. But like Conor McGregor knows how to sell fights. He knows how to put ass in seats. He knows how to sell his product. So he would be the one guy I think that would pique a lot of people's interest because. And like Kyron said, like if he came in, I would be invested in that. Like I don't even watch UFC, but
I would watch it. I'm not gonna lie, like that would be good stuff. I think he could be the next Ronda. Like I think he could do more than her. If you use him sparingly, like maybe 2 times a year, you could do some good things with him.
What do you? Let's talk about Hell in a Cell. What are some of your favorite? First of all, what do you think this day the greatest Hell in a Cell match of all time is? Still right now, like what do you say the greatest Hell in a Cell match of all time is?
I'm gonna say the first one, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first one's still the best one to me.
The best match, but those two are always in like first time ever matches. I think Shawn was in the first ever ladder match. Taker, first ever casket match. They have the in-ring psychology and everything to do it. And the reason that their match is the greatest is because of the debut of Kane. Jim Cornette came up with that idea, and it was one of the best debuts of all time. It's up there. It's either like that, Jericho. There aren't too many that are like great when you see them, but Kane's was perfect because Undertaker's staring like, who is that? That's gotta be Kane. And the man comes up and like Michael Myers rips the Hell in a Cell door off and walks in. The thing that was supposed to keep everybody out and nobody could get in, Kane just ripped it off and walked through like, yeah, now I'm about to get you. And he just jacked his brother up and cost him the WWF title. Wild.
I think the first Hell in a Cell match is still because I rewatched. It's actually today's actually the 22-year anniversary of the match too. 22 years ago today. So I think the first Hell in a Cell match is still the best. But for some reason, my favorite one is Triple H and Undertaker at WrestleMania, bro. I don't know why, bro. That match is so like I love that match to death, bro. I don't know why. Maybe it's because when they first announced the rematch. Bro. I wasn't too happy for it. Like they already fought the year before and they had a great match, but I was like, dude, I don't want to see this. I want to see Taker fight somebody different at WrestleMania. I want to see this rematch again. Like we saw them fight last year. Have them fight somebody different. You know what I mean? But the story, I got into the storyline, bro. I was into it when Triple H was, on Taker no, and then Shawn was coming out and he was, when Triple H stopped being the corporate guy and Triple H saying like, look, here's a brand now. I have to look at him as a brand. Back then I bought into that shit. I was like, oh, I understand his logic. the stuff he was saying, I understood his valid points. Like, oh, okay, he's in a business perspective, trying to get this shit, whatever. He doesn't want to be Bleach anymore. You know what I mean? But then, they started building it up more and more and more. And then when they announced Hell in a Cell, I was like, oh shit, like, I'm in now. And Sean being the referee made it even more value too. I was like, bro, this
my favorite line from that promo was with I guess it is true that Sean's better than you. And Sean had the smirk. Like, it was perfect the way they did it. Like, Sean knew he was like the greatest still, but he doesn't want to say it. Like, he's being humble. And then Triple H just gets angry. I don't know. I just felt like Triple H knows Sean's better than him too. It's the truth. And Undertaker just went and said it. The only thing I hate in that match from a logical standpoint was I hated when Undertaker kicked out of the super kick pedigree combo.
Yeah.
Oh, it was too much for me, bro. I was like,
that was good. That was good stuff, though, man. I liked it because I remember watching it and I thought it was over.
Yeah, my heart jumped a little bit. I was like, oh, they're about to do him dirty. Like, fast count him.
Thought it was dirty, but that's. Would you say your favorite Hell in a Cell match is? Is your first one still the favorite one, or?
I would say so. It's just a really good match, a great debut. I'll go into memorable. I mean, Undertaker, Mick Foley. This is the craziest thing. I watched that pay-per-view actually across the street from where I am right now. We came in from playing basketball that day. I remember we were dirty. We had just like washed our hands, everything. And we're like, yeah, my mom's making dinner if you want to stay. And my wife was there with her brothers. And I remember they were all sitting in the family room where they had the big TV back in the day. And all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, turn on the TV. They turned it on and we're like, yo, King of the Ring's on. I'm like, who ordered this? We're like, yo, shut up. They don't need to know who ordered it. Watch it. And right during that time, it was that match that was happening. The cell was being lowered. And when I saw Mick Foley go flying off of that cell, bro, I crapped my pants. Like, I was like, dude, this is amazing. Not literally, but I was like, dude, this is amazing. He went through. I remember the tooth through the nose. I thought it was a booger. I had no idea what was happening throughout that whole thing. That's a great car crash type of moment because nobody knew what was going to happen. I felt like Undertaker's foot broke in it. Like, everything was just so jacked up about that match. And then he came back out in the main event, both of them.
Yeah, that's crazy, yeah. The most memorable Hell in a Cell is definitely, I would say, Foley and Taker because of that crazy bump of that moment.
You got an underrated one that you think should get more appreciation?
Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I absolutely love that match.
Which one is that?
Bad Blood 2004.
Oh, yeah. That's a sleeper one.
It was a really good. It was a long ass match, but they told a good story. I think they told a good story in them. I love the ending. How both guys were like ending up on each other, like trying to get each other up, like because they're like fighting for that last, that last breath. So I think that's a good one.
I think my two involve someone who you'll be very surprised. I would either pick Triple H and Batista. That one doesn't get enough love, but my pick would probably be for Triple H and Cactus Jack.
You don't think that gets enough credit? I think it does.
I don't think it gets enough credit. I feel like people forget about that one. They always talk about Shawn and Taker.
I feel like the reason is because I think people like the street fight at the Royal Rumble more than the Hell in a Cell match.
I just think that's why it doesn't get enough love. Jericho Triple H was a good one too. Triple H was in a lot of good Hell in a Cell matches.
Triple H Kevin Nash, they had one.
Whoa. That's on my other list, maybe.
But I'm saying that was a Hell in a Cell match. Triple H, you got from like 2006, Triple H was in a Hell in a Cell match every year. He did the 6-man Hell in a Cell with Taker, Austin, Rock, and all them. He did the Jericho match in 2002, 2003, Kevin Nash, 2004 with Shawn Michaels, 2005 Batista, in 2006 they did the DX versus McMahon's and Big Show. That was I like that match too. That was a good match.
Yeah. That was a little wild too, though. But Triple H was the top heel for a little bit too. I mean, I know he went to babyface towards the end of that, but Triple H.
Batista and Triple H is a good one. I like that one. I actually do like that one.
Yeah,
that was a really good one. That was I like. I don't so much like the ending, but I do like Undertaker and Batista too.
Triple H is probably the most consistent Hell in a Cell performer. Kyron and Steve are probably losing their minds when they see this. That I'm actually saying good stuff about them, but
I like Undertaker and Batista too in that Hell in a Cell match.
Those were good. Undertaker and Batista were good opponents. I felt.
I don't like the ending though. I didn't like when Edge came out and whole camera stuff. I wanted to have an actual ending because the whole year they had the build up. They had a rivalry the whole year. Taker won at WrestleMania. They had 2 draws in a last man standing match and a steel cage match, and then Batista won at Cyber Sunday. like you had to have a winner, man. Like they're both baby faces too. Like have a winner. Batista obviously won, but I wanted to have a clean winner though. I thought they should have a clean winner, and then you could have Edge come out afterwards. But that was a good ass match. They had a really good match.
Edge and Undertaker at SummerSlam. That's another
really
slept on one.
Really, really good match. That was a really good one. That was the last Hell in a Cell match. I think that kind of really that's the last one that really mattered to me because that's when they started doing the Hell in a Cell preview every year, where you just know Hell in a Cell's going to happen.
It's overdone now. Like you just have matches just to have.
Hell in a Cell and Elimination Chamber have been overdone, being something special. It's same with Money in the Bank. Those matches have to be special at a special moment. You know what I mean? When you announce it, it's like, oh, you're going to be excited for it. You know what I mean? Like, not saying you won't be excited for Hell in a Cell match, but like when they announce one at like a SummerSlam and it's like it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus John Cena Hell in a Cell, you're going to be like, oh, what? Especially if it's a good feud too. You know what I mean? So it's always been a good way to top off feuds, but those have been good ones. I liked. Let me think some other ones. I did kind of like the X vs Legacy one. That one I like the idea of it when they locked Triple H outside the cell, and then that was just something different. There's something that never been done before.
Right. And that helped push Legacy a little bit. They got to be in a featured match with D-Generation X and kind of sit under the learning tree with them. Yeah,
that was some good ones right there.
Say hello to Wednesday nights for me now, if you don't know what happened to one of those guys. AEW.
I feel like since the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, though, what would you say the best Hell in a Cell match has been since they had the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view?
That's tough.
I can't even think of one on the top of my head, to be honest.
I can't either.
Oh, another one I forgot to mention, too, Brock Lesnar Undertaker. First one. That was a good one, too.
Oh, yes, with the cast.
Yeah, right? That was a good one.
That was a really good one.
They had they had a second one, too. That was a good one, too, the second one.
Yeah. What was the you just asked me a different question. I had something in my head.
The best Hell in a Cell at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I might have to say Brock Lesnar Undertaker, to be honest. That was a really good one.
That one, or didn't Bray and Roman fight at one, too?
Oh, Bray and Roman was
time out. No, New Day versus the Usos.
Oh, yeah. I got to go with that one, too. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
They had a really good Hell in a Cell match. Roman and Bray had a really good one, too. I got to give up to that one. It was a really good one. I called to mention their feud, but it was a damn good Hell in a Cell match. I got behind that one. Seth and Dean had a decent one. Those wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, came back. Where they both fell off and everything. I didn't like that. I was like,
that was Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens. That was a damn good Hell in a Cell.
That was too, where Sami Zayn turned heel.
Yeah, that might have to go up there too. That was the same night as the Usos. That might be the best Hell in a Cell pay-per-view they did. That might be the best one because they had two good Hell in a Cell matches that year. And the Usos
too, that the Kevin Owens and Shane storyline kind of had its twists and turns, and it just culminated on SmackDown.
Yeah, they had a good ladder match too. It had a solid ladder match. I enjoyed it, but the Hell in a Cell match was with Shane, and that was a good one. I like that one. Hardy, Ray Jordan had a good one last year.
Who? Oh yeah, that was nasty. Where he stuck the screwdriver in his ear and turned it. Shout out to SpongeBob. He just mentioned Cactus Jack and Triple H too.
SpongeBob SquarePants was good. I can't really say SpongeBob Square. He got to watch my other previews, man. I would have to say those. How did you feel? How did you feel about the? I want to ask you about remember they had the triple threat Hell in a Cell. How did you feel about that one?
Which one was the triple threat? I was trying to think if there was one.
Rio, Cena, and CM Punk.
I don't really remember that one too much.
That's the one when they had like R-Truth and then come out and beat up.
R-Truth and Miz ran out, right?
Yeah, and they beat everybody up in the cell, and they had like the whole locker room come out and everything. And
not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't remember it, so it didn't leave a good impression on me or a last.
What about the 6-man Hell in a Cell? How do you feel about that one? The 6-man Hell in a Cell.
Too many people, but I feel like Rikishi's moments, like his big moments in wrestling period, are forgotten about. Like, do you remember when he dove off the steel cage on the Val Venus?
Yeah, that was insane, bro.
Yo, bro, why is that not in any highlight video packages? Like, no 400-pound dude should be doing that. Rikishi wrecked his body for you, and I never see it. I always see, like, Mankind getting tossed off the top or something else. But Rikishi getting chokeslammed off of the cell into the truck was dope. Even though I hated Rikishi during that. I did it for the people. I did it for The Rock. Like, I'm a bad man. I'm a bad man. That was just trash. And then he got brought Haku back. Who else was in that? Kurt Angle.
Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, and Undertaker.
Yeah, I love that ending though, where Triple H wins that. Correct?
Oh, Kurt Angle won.
Was Kurt the champ at that time?
Yeah, Kurt.
Whoever the heel champ was, it was just a perfect way for it to end. Like, it was such BS. And he just like landed on somebody with his arm, and I was like, "Oh, that's how you do it, man."
This dude said Undertaker and Big Boss Man best Hell in a Cell match ever.
Oh, I'll be talking about that one potentially in a second.
Well, let's hop into it then. Talk about it then.
No, it's not. It's not in the best.
Yeah, it's definitely in the worst. I would say. Talk about the worst ones, and I would throw that one in there. Triple H, Kevin Nash, I would throw in there too. That was a bad one. I didn't enjoy that one. Too much.
Nah, that was mostly Nash's fault, though. I would say, other than Triple H, I felt like Nash was just slower. It was a different kind of match for him.
I didn't like Kane and Undertaker. I didn't like that one.
Kane and Undertaker. Oh, back in what was that? 2010, 2011?
Yeah, when they brought back Paul Bearer and shit. I didn't like that one.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. I also didn't like the he said, "I know you were joking, SpongeBob. We would never think you were serious about that."
Yeah.
I would hope not. I do like the moment that where Boss Man kind of like hung up there. When I was a kid, I didn't realize what they did or how they did it. I was like, how did they do that? Because there's nothing holding him there. Like, I'm trying to look to see if there's something holding him up, but you couldn't see it. So obviously,
was something holding him up? I couldn't see it either.
I guess there was like another string that held him up, so it looked like he was hanging. So that's why he did like kicking his feet and grabbed it. But you basically, this is gonna sound horrible, but you kind of like lynched your man on live pay-per-view. You can't do that. I was watching with my friends too.
WWE used to do some. Let's talk about WWE used to do some crazy things back then, bro. Like back then, you could never never do that nowadays, bro. You can't put people on a cross anymore. Like you can't do something.
Symbol. It was not a cross. They always said it was a symbol.
No, it was a symbol. Yes, sir. ECW went far with it though. They went like crazy with it when they put.
Yeah, they did. They made a halo on Sandman's head. That was too far.
Yeah, they did all types of stuff, bro. Like they did all types of crazy stuff. But it's just little stuff. You think that
the Kettle from Hell match is probably the worst in my opinion. If that counts. Do you remember that match? So it was a Hell in a Cell with a cage on the inside, and they had the dogs on the outside because of Big Boss. This is horrible too. Big Boss Man fed Al Snow Pepper, his dog, when he didn't have head anymore.
I don't remember this at all.
So Boss Man stole Al Snow's dog, and he said, "Al, if you want to come get your dog, I'll give it back to you or whatever." I don't remember if he lost the match or something happened. So he comes to the hotel room to get the dog back. He's like, "Sit down. Let's eat. I want to talk this over with you because I've had a change of heart lately." And I think they were kind of teasing like Boss Man was a good guy. And all of a sudden he was like, "How's the food taste?" And he was like, "This is really good." And then he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "What do you call it?" He was like, "It's called pepper." He was like, "I'm not. What did you put in it? What do you call it?" He was like, "Oh, it's pepper." And then Al Snow spit it out and started throwing up, and Boss Man beat the crap out of him. And it led to a Kennel in Hell match. So it was a Hell in a Cell cage with cages around, and these dogs are on the outside. These dogs were not ferocious at all. They did not look scary, and the dogs were pooping on the outside of the cage with the handlers. This match is so bad. You have to put it in on the network, bro. Look it up. Anybody who's like watching this video.
What pay-per-view was it on though?
Let me look this up for you so I don't want to misquote myself.
Have I never heard of this match before?
Oh yeah, no, this is bad. Unforgiven, Kennel from Hell, Big Boss Man. So it's from September 26, 1999.
I'm definitely looking up that. I need to watch that.
Like a week to the anniversary. It is so bad. So bad. That's got to be on like horrible matches to watch on the network and like review. Dear God, anybody from Everything Pro Wrestling, do not ever pick that for me to review.
I've never heard of that match though. I don't know why. Like I've never.
There's a reason you haven't heard of that match, dude. I'm telling you, it's bad. That to me, that's the worst Hell in a Cell, easily.
That one
or Boss Man Taker.
Yeah, I would.
Because nothing bad happened in that match, but it was just like, God, this is boring.
What do you think Triple H's best Hell in a Cell match was?
Triple H's worst one?
His best one. Like his best Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, that's so tough because he's had so many good ones. It's I think it's the Cactus Jack. I'm trying to think of maybe the Undertaker one too. Because that when he brought that up, man, that got goosebumps. Like, oh yes, they finally gonna do Hell in a Cell at a different pay-per-view.
Yeah, WrestleMania too. I
Yeah, it's
think
between those two. It's
that's the
between
best. That's the best Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania too that they had at WrestleMania. So.
yeah.
Oh, the Batista one's up there too. The Batista one I gotta put up there too. I gotta show love that one actually a lot. That's like one of my favorite. That's actually one of my favorite Hell in a Cell matches of that year.
SpongeBob put a story in the live chat that reminds me of yours a little bit when you see it. Born in '91, I first watched WWE in late 2002. I was watching SmackDown on UPN for months before I even knew Raw existed. That is crazy to think, man.
I never watched. I didn't start watching. The only reason I started watching Raw because you drafted John Cena, bro, and that was my favorite wrestler. So I was like, all right, well, I have to watch Raw now if I want to see John Cena. I never used to watch Raw then.
You guys are crazy, man.
Because I always like SmackDown because SmackDown had Eddie Guerrero and they had Undertaker and they had all my favorite wrestlers on there too. So that's why I always like, I don't know, something about SmackDown it felt different. It felt a little different. So that's why I always throw it in there. I had to put the Triple H Batista one. That's up there too, though, for me, man. That was actually one of my favorite. My favorite Hell in a Cell matches. I actually forgot about that one for a second. Brock Lesnar, Undertaker. I got to put that in there too because that was a damn good one too with the cast and everything. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
At the time, there was a lot of blood in that match though. Like Taker was bleeding like bad, like bleeding a lot. Back then. That's when they used to like just get busted open, like just wouldn't even like steel steps to the head. They used to get steel steps to the head, chair shots to the head. They used to all types of stuff. And then Brock looked like a monster in that match. I mean, he went into that match, won, and then he won. And then he walked out of the match on his own. He walked out of the match and went on top of the cell and put the belt over his head and everything. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a star though. Like you knew they were trying to make him big time.
Instantly, bro. He's probably besides Kurt Angle, he probably got the biggest push of anybody that came to the main roster, like instantly, like. Poof.
Yeah, that was fast. He had him, Kurt Angle, and Ronda Rousey, probably the 3 best first years I've ever seen in wrestling, easily.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, they used to have like they skyrocketed to the top, and all of them are really good though. I can't knock them. Especially Kurt and Brock, they're good. They were really good though. So they were different. They were shitty and they were bad, but they definitely skyrocketed to the top. So else. With the Hell in a Cell matches tomorrow, what other things is there anything that can really do different, like in the Hell in a Cell matches that can make it stand out?
I think you can do different things if you get creative in your mind. Like New Day and the Usos, I give them credit for the kendo stick spots where they trap one of the brothers, one of the Usos in there, and lock them in. There's different things you can do. I think they need to really go back to like maybe saying that they welded the door shut or something so that people can't get in. Let them put on a spectacle in there. Let it get bloody maybe. Go old school. Let some stuff happen in there. Like, yeah, I'm gonna jack you up in this match. It has to have that feeling behind it, though, you know? It's got to have that old school blood feud. Like, Shawn Michaels and Taker felt like a blood feud. Triple H, Cactus Jack felt like a blood feud.
Well, I'm trying to think about some of the bloodiest Hell in a Cell match. I know first one definitely.
Shawn Triple H might be the bloodiest.
Yeah, they had a lot of blood in their matches. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Taker and down. Undertaker was bleeding a lot in that Brock Lesnar match. Like, I mean, his whole face was like covered in blood. Like,
that was another bad time for blood in that era.
His whole face was bleeding like pretty damn bad. No, I had to say the DX McMahon one. That was a lot of blood in that one too. A lot of blood in that one. That's when like Shane had blood come out of his mouth, his head. Vince was bleeding. Big Show was bleeding. They're all bleeding. Everybody was bleeding in that match.
Yeah.
So I would say that one too. That one's up there. They had a Hell in a Cell match pretty much every year. Every year had a Hell in a Cell match every year. So.
Oh, SpongeBob said need to be careful if they get too creative. You'll end up with 2 cages on top of each other from WCW. Oh, that was so bad, dude. So bad.
War Games?
I don't think it was a War Games. They had like 3 cages stacked on top of each other, and the belt was like in the 3rd cage, so you had to like pull it down to get it out. Then you had to.
Never mind. Yeah, that was bad. That wasn't good TV.
No. Yeah, just bad stuff, man.
I heard a rumor that Cody Rhodes actually he wants to buy War Games from WWE. Like he wants to buy it from them so he can have it.
He could do that.
I don't know if we're gonna let him know. That's kind of like becoming an NXT thing now. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of becoming one of the biggest shows of the year.
I can't believe Vince has not wanted to use that concept yet. That's wild to me.
War Games,
perfect. Yeah. That's perfect for Survivor Series.
War Games.
The main event match of Survivor Series should be that cage match, 5-on-5. Who's the team captains? And you go out there and fight for it. Like, I don't get it. I know that NXT uses it, but I just hate the fact that we never got to see War Games for so long until now.
They brought it back in 2017. That's the first time they brought it back in, like, what?
What was the last one, 2000? It might have been on a Nitro, too, when they did it.
Yeah, it was years ago, man. It was a long time ago.
Because I went to Fall Brawl 2000, and it wasn't. I don't think it was featured on that one.
It was a long ass time ago. I know that for sure. Like a long ass time ago. So I think it might have been a Nitro or something like that. I'm not 100% positive on that. But I like the War Games concept, but the Hell in a Cell, to me, I wish they. I think it's to do another thing. When they do the draft, I really hope they split the pay-per-views, and I hope they get rid of Hell in a Cell, get rid of all these theme pay-per-views, get rid of Money in the Bank, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, TLC. I want them all gone. I want them to be used. Bring Money in the Bank back to WrestleMania. You have to put Money in the Bank back at WrestleMania when it's special. And have these theme matches. Use them for special moments, for rivalries, for you could even throw them on TV. There were times when they threw TLC on TV, TV match, you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be a good match.
I think I'm okay with Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view. Here's what I didn't like at WrestleMania for Money in the Bank. I always felt like the Intercontinental and US champion were involved in that match, and they never really got to.
But see, that can be good for nowadays because WrestleMania is so long. There's so many matches. I mean, they put so many. You got to think WrestleMania is going to have Brock Lesnar is going to be in the match. John Cena is going to be in the match if he wants to wrestle Undertaker. Triple H, Shane McMahon if he wrestles, Goldberg if he wrestles. You know, like all these legends that they bring back every year. We put Roman Reigns going to be in a spot. Brown's going to be in a spot. Ronda, you're going to have you got the women's too, so you got to have Becky, Charlotte. You know, all these people in spots. They may not have room. You got to have a tag team match. Then they may not have room for a title match or U.S. title match. You know what I mean? I think having them in the Money in the Bank, that could benefit them. That could help them. And then you can add other people too. That would make sense. That's how I see. That's how I see it. I would like to see something different as a theme pay-per-view. Bring back other pay-per-views like Judgment Day,
Halloween Havoc. You have WCW shows. Why can't instead of Hell in a Cell? Why don't you just do Halloween Havoc?
Do Halloween Havoc.
Out there. The problem is the gimmick matches today get so stupid. Like if I see at any point on SmackDown or Raw, I'm gonna lose it. If I see like a Halloween street fight where someone gets the pumpkin put on their head and they're getting beat with candy canes, like I hate that so much.
Oh man!
You see that match that me watching it at home is losing it. Like throughout the entire match, like this sucks.
The House of Horrors type shit. Oh my gosh! Like.
You thought that was bad? I thought they tried something different.
I think it was something different, but I don't think there's a reason they haven't done another one. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't successful. It was something different. I mean, I didn't think it was like terrible. Like, oh, something different. I mean, let's just see where this goes. But
did you like the Matt Hardy ones?
I liked him in TNA. You know, I don't think it worked for WWE's version of it. I think it was something about it. You can just tell that I feel like they just didn't have the creative control that Hardy needed. You know, when he was in TNA doing that stuff, it was entertaining stuff. You know what I mean, it was fun, entertaining stuff. I thought it was cool stuff, and I like segments like that when they fight like other places, backstage or in a parking lot or in a hotel or whatever, a Waffle House, doesn't matter, whatever. I like, you know, I just watched the incident the other day with the grocery store with Booker T and Stone Cold. Like that's entertaining stuff right there.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. I put up a Twitter thing that got a lot of good responses. Like, what's your favorite SmackDown moment or match? A lot of people had that one, and the gif of Stone Cold coming out the refrigerator with the milk. Hey, Book, got milk? he just tore Booker T up in that whole. I love that segment so much.
That's a good segment. My favorite. That's up there for my favorite SmackDown moment. That's definitely like top 3. It's not like top 3, but I have to. I think about that. That's tough. SmackDown moment. That's a tough one. But favorite. What would you think your like dream Hell in a Cell match would be? Like if you had to put 2 guys in a Hell in a Cell, that would make sense. Like this would be like 2 guys right here that I want to see.
So you're saying like make the greatest Hell in a Cell match ever?
Yeah, you could have 2 guys in a Hell in a Cell match. You could be like, bro, this could be an amazing Hell in a Cell match.
I love to see Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and Triple H in like a triple threat. I always wanted that match during the Attitude Era. Just one time at like a big pay-per-view, Stone Cold, The Rock, and Triple H, the two best baby faces and the worst all-time heel, fighting it out with Stephanie in his corner. Vince is coming out to eat some chair shots, the stunners, Rock's people elbowing people. It didn't even matter who would win the match. It would just be a spectacle, I think, if you got to see that with the three of them.
I think that could be that would be a good one. I would be down for that. I would like, for me, if I had to, Hell in a Cell, that would be tough, bro. Like, to pick one. I would say for me, because their matches were so good, I always went to see Undertaker versus Kurt Angle in Hell in a Cell. I think that would have been very good. See those two inside of Hell in a Cell. Their primes too.
They could have did that in 06 when they were doing that angle against each other.
Yeah, they couldn't have been touching that. I don't think Angle's ever been in Hell in a Cell besides that one. He was in that one Hell in a Cell match. That was it.
Yeah, I wish he would have got to do more. His lockdown matches in TNA were great. A lot of those.
I was there at one of the shows too, 2011, man, when he wrestled Jeff Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
The best show I ever been to, man. That was a good ass wrestling show, bro. That's when they had like Immortal versus Fortune 4, and they had that match. It was Morgan versus Abyss or something like that. I can't remember who all was.
That was when TNA was good, though. They had a lot of good cards that you wanted to see. Austin Aries and Bobby Roode were fighting. James Storm. That was a good time period for them.
You had Sting versus RVD and Mr. Kennedy, Mr. Anderson. I think that was one of the matches right there. That was good stuff. So Lockdown was good though. I like TNA Lockdown. I like their stuff. So I like the stuff they used to do back in the day. And I haven't kept up with Impact as much, but as far as Hell in a Cell goes, how do you feel about tomorrow Raw? Are you excited? Or because they only got 4 matches? It's weird. They only got 4 matches.
I'm feeling blah. Like, I feel like this is the main problem with WWE right now. And they've kind of, I guess, put a shine on it. It shows you how much those pay-per-views matter to them at this point. They charge $10 a month for it. They don't care. They're more worried about television ratings at this point, which I get because more of their money comes from the $1 billion deal than the couple million you're going to get from doing the network.
My thing is, though, how do you feel about them announcing matches on social media? Like, does that bother you? Or, like, do you understand it? Or does, like...
If you use it right. So I got some complaints when I was doing my review of SmackDown yesterday. They were like, oh, I said that Marshmallow won the 24/7 title. They were like, oh, Carmelo won it back. They said it on commentary. Well, Malik, I probably stepped out to get some water, check on my baby, whatever it may be. And you mean to tell me in that time period that I missed something small like that so I don't know what's going on? And at the same token, they were like, oh, it's on social media. I shouldn't have to go to social media to figure out what's going on your show that's on television live. So, I don't know. I thought it was stupid that Marshmello was in there with the 24/7. I don't like that, really, because not everybody's paying attention to it. If you're going to add a match to it, put it on here for people who have the WWE Network.
Right.
Let people figure out what's going on with it and what you can do to watch it.
I see your point of that. I understand that 100%. I feel like the whole Marshmallow thing was kind of weird, too, but I just don't understand why they only have 4 matches announced. You know what I mean? Like, there can't just be 4 matches on the show. There's no way.
They're going to add stuff with the revival, I assume, and I think you're in this stagnant period. Instead, what they should have done was load up that SmackDown card. I would even say possibly for the Fox kickoff, tell them you'll give them 3 hours. Give some matches some times and put the pay-per-view quality matches on there. Let Rollins and The Fiend happen on there. Do you get what I'm saying? But this stuff isn't planned. You can tell WWE's just like, oh, we got to change this now. And we're doing this too. And we got to change this. Just put it on there, man.
I agree too. I feel like you got to make this different. Pay-per-view has to feel different. It's interesting with the main event though, man. The main event's gonna be the match that everybody has eyes on. Like, what's they gonna do with Bray? Is Bray gonna win? Is he gonna lose? Somebody gonna interfere? What exactly is gonna happen? Nobody really knows what's gonna happen. I feel like I don't think he's gonna win. I'll call it right now. I don't think he is. I don't think he's winning.
I'm taking Bray. I think it's a big mistake if they don't.
I don't think he loses necessarily, but I don't think he's winning. I think some type of interference is gonna happen.
I can see fans chanting AEW if it doesn't go the way they want it to. I don't know. That sounds terrible to say. Or CM Punk, and that's crazy news too, right? CM Punk, basically a done deal that he's going to be working for Fox.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't necessarily this.
Ooh.
In the interview, he said he's working with. I was reading that comment.
Yeah.
He's
Boys Legion of Doom, SpongeBob said.
still doesn't mean he's gonna come back to wrestling. You know what I mean? But just because he's working for
I'm fine
Fox.
with that. But do you know what's the crazy thing that I don't hear anybody talking about? Think about this. Signs a deal with Fox. What if he goes to AEW?
Wow, with Fox.
While with Fox. Fox is probably not going to have anything about him competing for anyone else.
I don't know if they would allow that though, because Fox is with WWE right now, so that's kind of like.
But I'm an.
They want the ratings though. You know what I mean? That just adds more ratings for AEW. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense.
You get what I'm saying though? Punk's his own man. Punk may say, "Listen, I want to work on other projects, so you're not going to limit me, right?" And if they want him bad enough, they'll say, "Yeah, okay, well." And then he goes to AEW, let's just say, or they do compete for him. Because do you think he wants to come back, or are you done with? Like, I don't believe it until I see him come out on the stage.
Bro, I don't think he ever wants to. Until I see him, until I hear that cult personality music, he walks down that ramp. Even if he does come back, I don't think he ever going to wrestle again. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to take any more bumps. I think he's done taking bumps. I think honestly, this is my opinion how he feels about wrestling. I don't know the man. I could be wrong. I think the way his wrestling career turned out, I think he is. I don't want to say heartbroken, but I think he's upset with how people in WWE viewed him because he felt like he was a bigger star than he should have been, and people just underestimated him for his look and how he was. And I think that was heartbreaking to him because he knew he was a good wrestler. He was good on the mic. He was over with the fans. He did everything that WWE wanted him to do. They still didn't value him as a main event star, and I think that bothered him. That's why he left. I think he doesn't understand why. Like, what else do I need to do? Like, why do you not see me as?
I think it's heartbreaking for a person to realize that their goals are unachievable. You know, they always teach you, follow the SMART goals, specific, measurable,
right,
whatever, attainable, realistic, and timely. CM Punk wanted to hit all those, and then they just told him, no, you can't. And it's like once that blockade came up, he was knocking him down. But once the Vince blockade came up, he couldn't knock it down anymore. And it drains you. It puts a big drain on you. And
that's why I feel like when he was in WWE, looked at him as, because John Cena was still there, looked at him as, you're one of our biggest stars, but we're not going to put you above John Cena. John Cena is our guy. You will be one of our main stars. You'll be in pay-per-views. You'll never be off TV. Like, we'll use you and everything. But I feel like he felt like he was bigger than John Cena. I feel like he wanted to be the guy. Like, I want to be the face. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be the guy. And Vince was just like, bro, you're not our guy. Like, you're not the guy. You know what I mean?
I think that Punk saw himself in the top role, and Vince saw him to Cena's Hogan. You're Macho Man,
right? Exactly.
He didn't want to be Macho Man because he knew what that spelled already.
And the crazy thing though, John Cena, he wanted him to be that type. He was looking. I don't know if you saw the interview he had on Starrcast, but he was talking about how John Cena was looking. After he was going to have his main event with The Rock, whatever, he was looking for somebody to come in and step into that role as the top guy. He already been the top guy for like 10 years at that point. You know what I mean? He was looking for somebody to come in and step into that role. And it was honestly going back about the roster at the time. There was nobody else on that roster could have done it besides CM Punk. It was over with the fans like that. Daniel Bryan wasn't over like that yet, so he couldn't have been that guy yet because Daniel Bryan wasn't. He was still developing his popularity with the fans, so he wasn't as over. But I feel like I just feel like he just. I don't know if it's because he doesn't have the look that WWE wants, or is his attitude that WWE wants, or I don't know. Because John Cena's like the perfect company guy. You know what I mean? Like he's humble, whatever. He shows up on time. He's never late. He does whatever they tell him to do. He'll go wherever you want him to go. If you want him to fly out to fucking Russia to do a press conference for the company, he's gonna fly there and fly back. You know what I mean? So he's like their perfect company guy they want. And I don't know if CM Punk's committed. I don't know if he was committed to that. I could be wrong, but I just feel like I don't know. And then him having a problem with Triple H too, that definitely had an issue with it too.
Yeah, it was tough for him, dude. I don't know. We could go back and forth for this for days. I'm just glad that he's going to be involved in wrestling in some aspect because I feel CM Punk's too good not to be used. He's too valuable. I don't know how much Fox is paying him, but CM Punk said too he's not going to say something's good if it sucks.
Right, exactly. So I mean, who knows though? He could one come back to us. He'll never tell you unless it happens. He's never gonna come out and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about going back to wrestling." You know what I mean? He'll always keep fans thinking that he doesn't want to come back if he really doesn't. You know what I mean? But he's never gonna tell anybody he wants to come back unless he actually comes back. And there, I think for him to come back, there has to be a reason for it. It has to be a reason that makes sense. And it has to be, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be something that he wants. And I feel like if he ever came back, number one, he would have to have creative control over what he's doing. Like, he's not going to be coming in and being told, like, we don't know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what we're doing. Here's your script. He's not going to want a script for promos. He's going to want to go out there and do his own thing. He's going to want, I think creative control is a big thing for wrestlers now. That's why wrestlers are going to AEW. You know what I mean? That's because they have an option. They have more creative control over there, and they have more say in what they're going to do and what they can't do. And I think that's a big factor in wrestling nowadays. So if he ever comes back, I doubt it. I would say I doubt it. At this point, it's been 5 years.
Maybe it's out of his system. I would just love to see him, even if it's like, I don't know, maybe one match. I think if he gets back into it, he'll be fine. The problem is I don't think Cody and them see his heart being into it. And it's like, well, why sign a guy if his heart's not into it?
That's what I'm saying. I just don't know. I think he has a sour taste in his mouth about wrestling, but the business of wrestling in general, like the business side of it. I think he loves wrestling. Like, he loves going out there and performing and competing. But I think the business side of it, that's where he has the sour taste in his mouth.
In the trust. You have to, there's a lot of trust in pro wrestling. Like, yeah, I trust you that you're going to do the right thing for me, right?
Yeah, the business side of wrestling, I think, is what sets him the most. You know what I mean? And I've said that. Think about it. What if wrestlers get time off now? If they gave him time off back then, he may never left. You know what I mean? He asked for time off like consistently, and they never gave it to him. So now wrestlers get time off for when they get married and all types of stuff. So think about it. If they'd let him be gone for a while, you know, maybe he could have held up and decided when he wants to come back, he's going to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and absence makes the heart grow fonder for a lot of people. Like when he came back to fight Jericho after his little absence from what was it with Taker? He lost.
Yeah,
that was a good run for him. I was happy that he came back. I was like, oh, this is dope, good.
Yeah, but he wasn't supposed to come back that early though. He was supposed to come back at SummerSlam, but Vince wanted him for the Chicago pay-per-view. Whenever he just had surgery on his knee, that's what I'm saying. Like they rushed him back. He was like, bro, like I'm trying to heal up from my knee surgery. Like I'll be back at SummerSlam. Like SummerSlam is in August. I'll be back by then. Don't worry. Vince is like, bro, I really need you at like Chicago. I really need you. He was like, whatever, I'll be there. Fine, I guess. You know what I mean? Like he did. Trying to be the company guy. You know what I mean? Trying to be like the humble guy. Like, all right, you need me.
He thought he could get that last push. SpongeBob asked you a question too.
Your thoughts on the Fiend getting pushed and Bobby Lashley kissing Lana? Okay, well, Lashley Lana thing. I'm not gonna lie, it was stupid. I wasn't really into it, but I want to see. I'm gonna give it a chance. I want to see where it goes. I want to see how it looks down the future. I want to see what it looks like in a couple weeks. I'm gonna give it a couple weeks and see how I feel about it in a couple weeks. I don't really want to jump into it too much because it hasn't really
happened yet. And we discussed the Fiend earlier, kind of too. We answered that earlier in the video.
The Fiend is the best thing they got going in WWE right now. It's one of the coolest characters to me I've seen in a long time. So I'm fully into the Fiend character. Me and him talked about how we want him being booked, and we have two different opinions on that, so how we would do it. But at the end of the day, you have to protect the character. You have to protect this character. You can't ruin this version of Bray Wyatt like you did the other one. And this one's too valuable. It's too much value on it.
Kind of his last shot. I feel he's on Dolph Ziggler mode for me. Like if you lose and you like get squashed again and then lose, I'm going to
honestly, bro. If they ruin this, bro, if I was him, bro, I would leave and I would like take the character to AEW, bro. Like I would take it over there. But all right, bro, like you ruined it. I'm gonna go over here and show you like what you can do with this, like what you can do with the character. Like
you got to be careful sitting out though. You don't want to get yourself in the Luke Harper position. Now you owe them time and you owe them this, and they're gonna just starve you out. SpongeBob said to make me a bigger fan, more creative looking championships, laying off the LED screens, GM have their own offices again, and fans with sides. I like this SpongeBob guy. He should subscribe to both of our channels, man. If he's not, he might be subscribed to you already.
Fan, I like that. GM, I'm not big on GMs anymore. Though. Like I said, the last great GM to me was Eric Bischoff. That's how I feel. I don't want to see
too much. It's too hokey.
I don't want to see GMs anymore. Title looks. I would definitely love to see the championships change. Make them feel different. Make them have different looks. I like the AEW titles that they have. I like them all actually.
The AEW titles look really good. I think the women's one, maybe you could bulk it up a little, just a little.
But it has that old school feel. It's like that old school women's. That's how women's titles used to look back in the day.
AEW tag belts look like the old ECW tag team belts. I like that.
I like the titles, and I feel like WWE can manage their championships a little bit. They can make a little bit different versions of it. I mean,
Do you hate the similar look, or do you like the whole like? I got the women's one right here.
No, I hate the similar look. Make it look different, dude. Make them look.
Well, I think they did that to make men and women look equal. You get what I'm saying? And that
but still, you want it to look different, though. You know what I mean? Like you wanted to feel different. Like how they had the world title and the WWE title. Like they had the world heavyweight title and had the WWE. They're two different styles. I mean, two different looks. Make it feel different. Have that different vibe to it. You don't want to have the same type of vibe to it. I think it's big to have different championship materials look different because it can bring more value to it. You know what I mean? It could bring more value to the titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have that perspective, but I like that though. But as far as the screen, the LED screens, I like the setups that they did for Raw and SmackDown. I like the skateboard type thing they did. I like the SmackDown setup that they had. My thing is that I want them to look. I want the pay-per-views to look different too. I want them to sets to look different. I want them to go a little bit all out, man. They got money. Spend a little bit of bread on the pay-per-view materials, man. On the setups, the pyro.
AEW, which one was it? Double or Nothing, where they had the poker chips on the stage and Kenny Omega got tossed off. Like that was perfect, dude.
Yeah.
Do more stuff like that, like where you have the poker chips up there, and I don't know. I really like that. It was a nice touch. It ended the show perfectly, and I really enjoyed that. I missed the old like Armageddon where they had all the stuff along the side. Armageddon 2000 '99, excuse me, with Vince versus Triple H, Stephanie. Dude, it was so dope. The pay-per-view sets back then that you had, or some of them would have like the spear thing, and you're walking out, or the King of the Ring doors would open.
Yeah.
It would just look so plain, and you're just walking out. You're like, hey, that's so and so, and there's no pyro. And
yeah, it's terrible, man. It's fucking terrible. I think they need to make an adjustment to it, bro. It's to make an adjustment to the pay per view sets. Like I said, if they have once you do the draft, depending on where everybody goes, split pay per views up, split them up, and have Raw pay per views, SmackDown pay per views, different sets, and make it different, man. Let them compete, dude. Let them go at it. I think it can make better. It can make better writing for the writers for each show. You know what I mean? Like in their game, I'm like, oh, SmackDown was good this week. We got to step up our game with the writing. You know what I mean? Like you got to step it up, man. Have more, creative, have more better decisions in the creative team with the writing team too. But we pretty much touched on everything for Hell in a Cell. Reviews tomorrow, 7:00. So there's only been 4 matches announced, but the only match I'm really intrigued over is the 2 Hell in a Cell matches. I'm excited for both of those. I want to see how they do things with this. We talked about our favorite Hell in a Cell matches. We touched on those great Hell in a Cell matches over the years. I'll let you plug in your channel to everybody where they can subscribe to you.
Yeah, you guys can check me out on Twitter at EPW Show, Instagram at EPW Show. I usually have a link tree in all the spots for my bios. You can find my podcast there, Spotify, Apple's, iTunes. Just type in everything pro wrestling, you'll find me. Same thing on YouTube. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're slowly getting there. We're doing good things. I've got some cool promotions coming up on Twitter too. If you guys want to try and get into some pay-per-view contests, make sure you guys give me a follow on there as well. Look for the retweets, likes, and whatever I tell you to do on there for the contest.
All right, make sure you guys tune into his stuff. One thing I want to do, I forgot we planned this too. I want to do a podcast about TNA, man. I planned that too a while ago, and I forgot it, but he became like busy and everything, had to get, so we had to plan that out too.
You know what though? I got to do some review on it because it's been a long. Like I took a long break from TNA, like that Lashley, Drew McIntyre era. I missed all of it.
No, I wanted to touch on like from the earlier start of TNA, probably like 2012. 2012. That's when I started watching like TNA. Once like AJ Styles left, I was like, yeah, man. Deal. AJ Styles left TNA. I was like, yeah, I'll probably start watching TNA now. But the good eras of TNA, like from 06 to like 2009. I mean, like those were like good times in TNA.
Yeah, we could talk about what got us into it and stuff on yours. That'd be actually a really dope thing to talk about.
Oh, I want to touch on that. I have to. We'll make a day, maybe like sometime next week if you're busy. We'll see what you guys want on next week. Make sure you guys check out his stuff. Go subscribe to his channel. Do you like Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia every year? Here's my thing on the Saudi Arabia thing. I touched on it. I'm not one of those haters that's look. I don't judge other people's cultures, bro. I'm not from Saudi Arabia. I don't have those religious beliefs. Every country has different religious beliefs. So I don't think it's necessary to judge other people's cultures or how they live their life. You know what I mean? If we were from Saudi Arabia and we were born there, we would believe in the same stuff that they believe in right now because that's where you're from. That's what's in the Bible. That's what you believe in. So you can't knock people for what they believe in other cultures because that's where they're raised to be brought into. You know what I mean? They have they already signed a 10-year deal. They're in this for 10 years no matter what. They signed a 10-year deal with Saudi Arabia, so they're going to be there every year. They're going to have 2 shows every year in Saudi Arabia, whether people like it or not. I don't understand why people got this. I don't understand why people have this big deal about them going to Saudi Arabia every year. Like I just don't understand it. Like I don't.
I do understand it because I think it's hypocritical. When I was younger, I probably would have said the same thing you did. Here's the problem. I think once you start looking at politics and American culture, you try to say like, hey, none of this stuff really matters, but it kind of does because at one point you talk about not doing business with a company because some guy sexted a dirty picture, right? You don't want to mess with that guy anymore, that stuff. But what about people who have been known to harm other people? Basically, the last time a murder took place and they acted like they didn't know about it, but they did because the cameras basically showed they knew what happened to this guy.
Right.
It's filthy and disgusting too to some people. I
understand that
too. But I'm not going to take out what their government official leader is doing on the people of Saudi Arabia because a lot of people in Saudi Arabia, this is where I go back to your point. Not saying that your point was wrong at all. I'm just saying I can see why people are upset with it. But when you look at the kids, there's a lot of kids in Saudi Arabia who listen to podcasts like this or podcasts like mine, even the bigger ones. They love WWE. They love it. They wish they could talk about it more in their country. They don't probably get the shows as quick as we do, but they love what they see, and they deserve these shows. I know that they're not getting to sit up front because they have a caste system kind of down there with how life works, but I'm happy that those kids get to see WWE. And
just think about the last show they did. Even though Crown Jewel, even though it was terrible, but you could just look at the excitement on the faces of the people there, and they're happy that they get a WWE show. And I mean, they don't get WWE shows like we do in America, so I don't have a problem with them going there at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and today it's a business, bro. WWE is a business trying to expand their company and their brand, the product around the world. If them going to Saudi Arabia can help them in the Middle East with going to Dubai and Egypt and India or wherever else you want to go in the Middle East, if this can help expand their brand, they're gonna do it. I mean, they're gonna put their gas on it and help expand that brand. But that's what WWE is all about: expanding their brand, expanding their culture, let them be known over there. You know what I mean? So they're in this for 10 years. No matter what, they signed a 10-year deal, bro. So
the plan was to take over internationally. I know they're mainly based in the States, but they're trying to touch everywhere from Canada to Mexico to Japan to throughout Europe, Africa. They don't care where they got to go. Australia, they want to be there, and they want to.
They're trying to expand their brand all through the Middle East, from Saudi Arabia to Dubai to Abu Dhabi, Egypt, to all around the Middle East, bro. That's their goal, man. That's what they're trying to expand. And maybe it can help women wrestle over there too, bro. Like they're not allowed to right now. But what 3 years from now, women can wrestle? And they had women wrestle in Abu Dhabi with Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss last year or 2 years ago. Like that was huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe you can help stuff like that. Maybe you can help different causes too. You know what I mean? WWE could be doing things for this. Not everything they do is based off maybe business decision. Maybe they could be doing things like, hey, maybe we could go over there. Maybe we can help expand women's rights over there. You know what I mean? Like for certain things. You know what I mean? We don't know. But
hey, I'm for it, man. I'm willing to see it. I'm not boycotting the shows. It's helped grow my brand when I reviewed them when everyone else said they weren't. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but
obviously the shows haven't been great. From our perspective, like the shows haven't been great. From you have to understand business side of it too. Like I said, they signed a 10-year deal, so like they're in it for 10 years, no matter what. They have to go there. I mean, they're in a commitment. They're in a contract. If they don't go fulfill the commitment, that's called a breach of contract, which means they can get sued for millions of dollars, lose millions of dollars for their company. So you have to fulfill that commitment. We're going to be there till 2028. So buckle your seatbelt because they're going to be having shows every year. So don't be disappointed when they go back next year because they're going to go back.
Right.
So I mean, Crown Jewel probably won't be great. Probably gonna be terrible again. It'd probably be terrible. I mean, but I mean, they're trying to please. I look at it as they're not really worried about pleasing the fans like us because we have other pay-per-views of the year. They're worried about making people happy over there. So how are we gonna make them happy over there for that show? Because they only have 2 shows a year over there. So how are we gonna make them happy in Saudi Arabia for those 2 shows?
And you tell them it's like WrestleMania, even though it's not. They're just happy to see it.
Exactly. I mean, they're gonna have 2 bad shows of the year, but we get Royal Rumble, we get WrestleMania, we get SummerSlam, we get Survivor Series, we get all these pay-per-views. Hell in a Cell tomorrow, we get all these pay-per-views over here. So them, I think Vince is looking at it like, look, this is a business. We're gonna go over there and we're gonna make them happy for their shows. That's why they got this 10-man tag match. They got it's gonna be probably great to them. They're probably looking at it right now and like, what? They got Hulk Hogan and Team Hogan versus Team Flair, and we got Randy Orton and Baron Corbin versus so far and Seth Rollins and Rusev. Like what? Like that's probably great to us. It's like nobody cares, but them it's probably like, oh, this is cool. Like we can see Hulk Hogan and we can see Ric Flair come out. You know what I mean? So Brock Lesnar shows up again. He's been there for all the shows too. I think. Triple H might wrestle. He'll probably wrestle again too, so they can see him again. So it's like, bro, they get to see the people that they want to get that they don't get to see much. You know what I'm saying? They only got 2 shows. They got 1 show in the beginning of the year, and they got 1 at the end of the year. So like I said, I have no problem with it. I understand people's. I can see your point. I can see why people aren't happy with it. I get it. You know what I mean, but still, you have to understand it from a logical perspective. We're not from there. We don't been there. I've never been there. Most of the people who cheat on it have never been there either, I would assume, so they don't know what it's like over there. You can only just read stuff on the internet, what you hear. So you can only go off what you see and people say off the internet, you know what I mean? But all cultures are different, bro. All beliefs are different, man. Every aspect of life is different. I mean, there are things that we do in America that people look at like, bro, like what? Like, they do that over there? Like,
yeah, that's wild to the other people's stuff we do.
So you never know, bro. Like you're saying, like we got look at our president right now. Our president Donald Trump. Come on, bro. Like
I'm not talking politics on here. It'll get
the president on here, bro. Like the president of the United States, Donald Trump, bro. That's all I gotta say, bro. There's nothing else to be said about that. But so the Saudi Arabia show will be all right. I probably watch too. I watch all of them. I know. I probably end up watching it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just probably check it out. But
yeah, I'll have a Hell in a Cell review up too for the show tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing my reactions to. I'm gonna do one reaction. Just be to the main event though. I'm just gonna do a reaction to the main event. Other than that, I'll probably watch the whole pay-per-view through and then just do the reaction to the main event because that's the only match that I'm really curious about. See what's gonna happen because I don't really know what's gonna happen. To be honest, I have no idea what's gonna go down. I can't predict what's gonna happen. So, and maybe we see Paul Heyman show up too. I feel like there's gotta be something within Lesnar that you gotta have Paul Heyman show up and cut a promo with Cain Velasquez or something, bro. You gotta give me something tomorrow. Have him come out and have Cain Velasquez come out. Yeah. There's got to be something within that. I mean, Brock probably won't be there, but have Paul Heyman come out and have Cain Velasquez come out. Have him cut a promo. See I want to see what he's like on the stick, bro. See what he's like on the stick, man. Can he talk? Can he not talk? Like, see what he's about. So, I'm sure to see that, but excuse me. Make sure you guys go show him love, subscribe to his channel, check out all his content. You say you have a review tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, so make sure you guys check out his review tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button. We're out.
Peace.